Stories have been a part of human history for millennia. Through myths, legends, and folktales, cultures across the globe have passed down tales of adventure, morality, and transformation. But why do so many of these tales share such similar structures? What is it about the journey of a hero that resonates so deeply with audiences across time and space? The answer lies in the hero's journey, a narrative structure identified by Joseph Campbell in his seminal work The Hero with a Thousand Faces. Campbell's theory is that many of the world's myths and stories share a common framework, which he called the monomyth. This structure, often referred to as the hero's journey, follows a protagonist through a series of stages that lead to their personal transformation. Whether it's Frodo in The Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter in J.K. Rowling's famous series, or Odysseus in Homer's The Odyssey, the hero's journey is a powerful blueprint for storytelling. But what exactly are the stages of this journey, and how do they operate within the broader context of literature? Let's embark on an exploration of this timeless narrative, analyzing the stages of the hero's journey while uncovering why this particular structure has captivated human minds for generations. Before the hero embarks on the great adventure, they exist in what is often referred to as the ordinary world. This is a familiar environment, one where the hero feels comfortable but often dissatisfied. The purpose of this stage is to introduce the hero in a relatable setting, allowing the audience to connect with their flaws, hopes, and ambitions. For instance, consider Harry Potter's life before he discovers he's a wizard. His mundane existence with the Dursleys highlights his isolation and yearning for something greater. Similarly, Frodo Baggins in The Lord of the Rings enjoys a peaceful, unremarkable life in the Shire, one that seems sheltered from the greater world's dangers. This initial setting serves as a stark contrast to the adventures that will follow, grounding the hero in a relatable, often mundane reality. However, the ordinary world is also symbolic of stagnation. It reflects the hero's internal state. There's a restlessness, a feeling that something is missing. The audience, too, feels this tension, and it builds the anticipation for the adventure to come. Every great story begins with a disruption, something that challenges the hero's status quo and beckons them toward the unknown. This moment is known as the call to adventure, a pivotal event that ignites the journey. In many stories, this call comes in the form of an external force. For Harry, it's the arrival of his Hogwarts letter, revealing his magical heritage. For Frodo, it's Gandalf's revelation about the One Ring. These moments upend the hero's life, forcing them to confront the extraordinary world that exists beyond their ordinary understanding. But the call to adventure isn't always an obvious invitation. In some stories, it can be more subtle, manifesting as an inner restlessness or dissatisfaction. Take Luke Skywalker from Star Wars, for example. His yearning to leave his uncle's farm on Tatooine hints at a deeper desire for something greater, a destiny far beyond the horizon. This internal call is just as powerful as any external force, driving the hero toward the adventure they need, even if they don't recognize it yet. Despite the allure of adventure, heroes often hesitate at first. This is the refusal of the call, where the hero's fears, doubts, or obligations make them reluctant to step into the unknown. This stage adds depth to the hero's character, showing their humanity and vulnerability. In The Lord of the Rings, Frodo initially balks at the idea of taking the ring to Mordor. He is, after all, a simple hobbit unprepared for the dangerous world outside the Shire. Similarly, in The Matrix, Neo hesitates when Morpheus offers him the red pill, symbolizing his fear of leaving behind everything he knows. The refusal of the call speaks to a universal human experience, the fear of change. We all hesitate when faced with the unknown, even when we yearn for something greater. By showing this reluctance, the narrative allows us to empathize with the hero, making their eventual decision to move forward all the more compelling. When the hero is finally ready to embark on their journey, they often encounter a mentor figure who offers wisdom, guidance, or magical aid. This is the meeting of the mentor stage, where the hero receives the tools they'll need to navigate the trials ahead. The mentor can take many forms: Gandalf in The Lord of the Rings, Dumbledore in Harry Potter, or even Yoda in Star Wars. These characters provide more than just practical advice. They serve as a symbol of the wisdom the hero must acquire in order to survive their journey. Often, they represent a connection between the ordinary world and the extraordinary, bridging the gap between what the hero knows and what they must learn. In some cases, the mentor might also symbolize the hero's potential. Yoda's teachings to Luke are more than just lessons in the Force. They're lessons about self-discipline, faith, and the importance of choosing one's path. The mentor, then, is not just a guide through the external world but a key to unlocking the hero's internal potential. With the mentor's guidance, the hero makes the momentous decision to step into the unknown. This is the crossing of the threshold, where the hero leaves behind their familiar life and enters the extraordinary world of adventure. This stage is often depicted as a literal crossing a portal, a journey, a boundary that separates the ordinary world from the extraordinary. In The Hobbit, Bilbo Baggins leaves the comfort of his home and crosses into the wild, while in Alice in Wonderland, Alice literally falls down the rabbit hole into a world of fantasy. Crossing the threshold represents a point of no return. The hero cannot go back to their old life without first completing the journey ahead. It marks the official beginning of their transformation, as they confront challenges they've never faced before. Once the hero enters the extraordinary world, they encounter a series of tests, allies, and enemies. These trials serve to challenge the hero and help them grow stronger, while also introducing them to companions and adversaries who will shape their journey. In the wizarding world, Harry makes friends with Ron and Hermione, while also contending with Draco Malfoy and Lord Voldemort. In the Hunger Games, Katniss learns to navigate the brutal arena, forming alliances with Peter and Rue while battling deadly enemies. These tests force the hero to adapt, grow, and sharpen their skills, preparing them for the ultimate confrontation ahead. However, this stage is not just about physical challenges. The tests often reflect the hero's internal struggles, whether it's Harry grappling with his identity as the Chosen One, or Frodo struggling with the growing influence of the ring. Through these trials, the hero begins to evolve, slowly shedding their ordinary self and stepping into their new role. As the hero continues their journey, they eventually reach the inmost cave, a dark, dangerous place where the greatest treasure, or the ultimate challenge, lies. This is often a symbolic moment, representing the hero's deepest fears and the most perilous part of their journey. The inmost cave can take many forms. In The Empire Strikes Back, Luke enters the cave on Dagobah, where he confronts a vision of Darth Vader and ultimately himself. In The Lion King, Simba returns to Pride Rock, facing the ghost of his past and the challenge of reclaiming his kingdom. This stage forces the hero to confront their own limitations and fears, pushing them to the brink. It is a moment of intense introspection as much as it is of external danger. The hero is on the cusp of transformation, but first, they must face the most difficult part of their journey, confronting the truth about themselves. The ordeal is the climax of the hero's journey, the moment of greatest crisis and confrontation. This is where the hero faces the greatest fear, often risking everything in the process. In many stories, this ordeal is a life or death situation. Frodo and Sam's final push to Mount Doom, Harry Potter's battle with Voldemort, or Neo's showdown with Agent Smith, these moments are filled with danger, suspense, and uncertainty. Everything the hero has learned and gained throughout their journey culminates in this moment of truth. But the ordeal is not just about physical confrontation. It's also symbolic of internal transformation. The hero must confront the parts of themselves they've been avoiding, whether it's Frodo's temptation to keep the ring, or Simba's guilt over his father's death. This moment tests not just their strength but their character. After surviving the ordeal, the hero is granted a reward. This can be a literal treasure, such as gold or magical objects, or it can be something more abstract, such as knowledge, power, or inner peace. In The Matrix, Neo gains the ability to bend reality, fully embracing his identity as the One. In The Hunger Games, Katniss secures her and Peter's survival, earning both victory and defiance against the Capitol. The reward signifies the hero's growth and triumph over the previous limitations. However, the reward is not just a victory over external forces. It often represents a deeper, internal transformation the hero has evolved. They've gained something far more valuable than the initial object of their quest: self-awareness, wisdom, and a renewed sense of purpose. This stage in the hero's journey emphasizes that the greatest rewards aren't always material. They are the intangible qualities that the hero earns through their trials. In Frodo's case, The reward isn't just the destruction of the One Ring, it's the personal growth he experiences from facing darkness and temptation, even if he emerges from the ordeal scarred and weary. For Simba, his reward is reclaiming his rightful place as king, but also finding peace with his past. It's not just about achieving a goal, it's about becoming the person capable of fulfilling that goal. The next phase of the hero's journey is the road back, where the hero begins their return to the ordinary world. However, this isn't simply a walk into the sunset. Challenges often arise here, serving as a final test of the hero's transformation. The hero has changed, but the world they left behind may not have, and reintegrating into it can be a challenge in itself. In The Lord of the Rings, Frodo, Sam, and the other hobbits return to the Shire, but they find that it's been taken over by Saruman's forces. Their task is not fully complete until they've liberated their home. For Harry Potter, his road back involves leaving the magical world behind and returning to a semblance of normality, although his world has been forever altered by the events of the war with Voldemort. In this stage, the hero may face one last conflict, but it's different from the earlier battles. Now, it's about reconciliation, about applying what they've learned and integrating the extraordinary into their ordinary life. The road back reflects that the journey is not just about leaving the familiar but also about finding a new place within it. The penultimate stage of the hero's journey is the resurrection. This is the hero's final test, often symbolized by a rebirth or purification. At this moment, the hero proves that they have truly changed and can master both the ordinary and extraordinary worlds. The resurrection often involves a literal or symbolic death, where the hero emerges more powerful and enlightened. This stage is vividly portrayed in The Matrix when Neo dies in the physical world, only to be resurrected with a new understanding of the Matrix's nature, granting him complete control over it. Similarly, in Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, Harry voluntarily faces death at Voldemort's hands but is resurrected, symbolizing his ultimate mastery over death and his acceptance of his role as the savior of the wizarding world. Resurrection signifies that the hero has shed their old self and emerged fully transformed. They are now equipped with the wisdom, courage, and strength necessary to not only survive but thrive in both worlds. This moment of transformation is often the most powerful in the story, as it underscores the profound internal change the hero has undergone. Finally, the hero returns home, but they do not come back empty-handed. The return with the elixir is the culmination of the hero's journey, where the hero brings back something of value to their community, whether it's a tangible object, like the Golden Fleece, or something more symbolic, like knowledge, peace, or a renewed sense of purpose. In The Lord of the Rings, Frodo and his companions return to the Shire with a new understanding of the world and the wisdom to protect it. In The Lion King, Simba reclaims Pride Rock and restores balance to the animal kingdom. The elixir represents the solution to the problem that prompted the adventure in the first place, and it's often something that benefits not just the hero, but everyone around them. The return with the elixir completes the cycle of the hero's journey. The hero's journey is not just about self-discovery, it's also about bringing back something that will benefit others. This final stage emphasizes the interconnectedness of the hero's growth and the broader community. The hero, once an ordinary individual, has now become a symbol of hope, wisdom, and transformation for others. The hero's journey endures because it speaks to something deeply embedded in the human psyche. At its core, the hero's journey is a metaphor for the challenges we all face in life. We all start in an ordinary world, experience calls to adventure in various forms, a new job, a personal crisis, a new relationship, and struggle with moments of doubt and fear. Along the way, we seek guidance, face tests, and, hopefully, emerge stronger, wiser, and more capable. This universality is what makes the hero's journey so powerful. We may not all be tasked with saving the world from dark lords or defeating ancient monsters, but we all experience trials and transformations on a personal level. Whether we are dealing with loss, change, or growth, the hero's journey serves as a blueprint for overcoming obstacles and achieving personal transformation. Moreover, the cyclical nature of the hero's journey mirrors the cycles of life itself. Just as the hero returns with the elixir, we too learn lessons from our challenges and, in turn, pass them on to others. The hero's journey is not just about the individual, it's about the collective, about the ways in which personal growth can impact and uplift the broader community. The hero's journey is not confined to ancient myths and epic sagas, it's alive and well in modern storytelling. From blockbuster films to literary bestsellers, the hero's journey continues to serve as a foundational narrative structure. Take superhero movies, for example. Tony Stark's transformation from selfish billionaire to self-sacrificing hero in Iron Man follows the hero's journey almost perfectly. Similarly, in the Star Wars saga, both Luke Skywalker and Rey follow this path, navigating their own calls to adventure, confronting their fears, and ultimately rising as the heroes the galaxy needs. Even in more grounded narratives, the hero's journey is prevalent. In Breaking Bad, Walter White's descent into criminality follows the same beats as the traditional hero's journey, but with a darker twist. His elixir is power and control, but it comes at a steep moral cost. The narrative structure remains the same, but its moral implications shift based on the story being told. The hero's journey is a timeless framework that has captivated storytellers and audiences for thousands of years. Its appeal lies in its universality, its ability to speak to the human experience of growth, challenge, and transformation. Whether in ancient myths or modern blockbusters, the hero's journey endures because it taps into something fundamental about the way we understand our own lives. At its heart, the hero's journey is about more than just adventure. It's about the journey of self-discovery, about confronting our fears, and about emerging from life's trials with a deeper understanding of who we are. It's a reminder that no matter how ordinary we feel, we are all heroes in our own stories, capable of transformation and equipped to bring back something valuable to the world around us. In a way, we are all on our own hero's journey. We all face our own calls to adventure, moments of doubt, and ultimate challenges. And, like the heroes of literature and myth, we are all capable of returning with the elixir, of growing, transforming, and making our world a better place in the process. The hero's journey is not just an external adventure, it is also a profound psychological journey that mirrors the process of self-discovery and individuation, a concept explored by Carl Jung. According to Jung, individuation is the process by which an individual becomes whole by integrating the conscious and unconscious aspects of their psyche. In the hero's journey, each stage corresponds to a psychological phase of development. The ordinary world represents the state of ignorance or unconsciousness, where the hero is unaware of the deeper potential. The call to adventure can be seen as a confrontation with the shadow self, the part of us that contains repressed desires, fears, and aspects we do not consciously acknowledge. The ordeal represents a symbolic death, often interpreted as a confrontation with the ego. The hero must let go of their old identity to emerge as something new and transformed. Finally, the return with the elixir symbolizes the integration of this newfound self-awareness into the conscious world. This psychological reading emphasizes the hero's journey as not just a narrative structure but a representation of human development and self-realization. While the hero's journey is found in myths and stories across various cultures, it's important to note that the details and interpretations can vary significantly based on cultural values, beliefs, and historical context. Campbell's model draws heavily from Western mythological and religious traditions, particularly those rooted in individualism, but different cultures approach heroism in unique ways. In Eastern philosophies and traditions, the hero's journey often emphasizes the dissolution of the self, aligning more with communal goals and spiritual enlightenment. In Buddhist stories, the hero may achieve transcendence by renouncing worldly desires, which contrasts with the Western focus on individual conquest. In indigenous and African storytelling traditions, heroes often have communal responsibilities, and the elixir they return with serves the collective rather than individual glory. Stories such as those in Native American mythology tend to focus on the hero's connection to nature and spiritual forces, emphasizing harmony and balance over personal triumph. Thus, while the hero's journey is a universal framework, its application and meaning can be fluid, adapting to the cultural lenses through which it is told. One critique often levied against Campbell's model is that it predominantly reflects a male-oriented perspective on heroism, focusing on external adventure, conquest, and battle. However, in modern literature and cinema, we see an increasing number of female protagonists embarking on their own heroic journeys, leading to discussions about how the structure might shift to accommodate different gender dynamics. Some scholars, such as Maureen Murdoch in The Heroine's Journey, have argued that the traditional hero's journey doesn't fully account for the unique struggles and growth of female protagonists. Instead, Murdoch proposes a cycle that places more emphasis on internal transformation, healing, and balance between the masculine and feminine. However, many modern narratives, such as The Hunger Games with Katniss Everdeen or Moana, show that the hero's journey can be adapted to include female protagonists without completely abandoning its core structure. These stories often blend external adventures with internal growth, highlighting the protagonist's emotional journey, empathy, and community-oriented goals. This opens up conversations about how traditional gender roles and expectations influence storytelling and how the hero's journey can evolve to reflect more diverse experiences of heroism. In recent decades, the rise of the anti-hero in literature and film has challenged traditional notions of heroism. Characters like Walter White in Breaking Bad or Tony Soprano in The Sopranos follow the hero's journey structure, but their transformation often leads them down a morally ambiguous or outright dark path. What's interesting about anti-heroes is that while they undergo the same trials, confrontations, and transformations, the elixir is often one of power, control, or dominance rather than personal or communal growth. The anti-hero's journey subverts the traditional narrative by blurring the line between good and evil, showing that not all heroism leads to moral enlightenment. This subversion adds complexity to the hero's journey, making it not just a tool for telling inspiring stories but also a framework for exploring darker, more morally ambiguous narratives. An interesting twist on the hero's journey is its application to the villain's perspective. In some stories, villains undergo their own version of the journey, only their transformation leads them to embrace darkness or power. A great example of this is Anakin Skywalker's transformation into Darth Vader in Star Wars. In Anakin's case, the traditional stages of the hero's journey are inverted. His call to adventure is his seduction by the dark side, and his mentor is Emperor Palpatine. His ordeal is not a confrontation with darkness but rather his full immersion in it, symbolized by his final transformation into Vader. In this sense, Anakin's journey mirrors the traditional heroic arc, but with a tragic, villainous outcome. This inversion challenges our perception of heroism and villainy, revealing that the same structural path can lead to vastly different moral outcomes based on the character's choices. The hero's journey, while rooted in ancient myth, is a living, evolving narrative structure that adapts to the times. Its core appeal lies in its reflection of universal human experiences, growth, transformation, fear, and triumph, but its versatility allows it to be reshaped and reinterpreted in countless ways. By examining the psychological underpinnings, cultural variations, gender dynamics, and subversions of the journey, we can see just how flexible and enduring this structure is. Whether it's used to tell tales of noble warriors, morally complex anti-heroes, or community-focused heroines, the hero's journey will continue to resonate because it speaks to the heart of what it means to be human, to face challenges, grow through adversity, and emerge with a new understanding of ourselves and the world around us. This rich narrative framework allows storytellers to create compelling, transformative tales that not only entertain but also offer insights into the deepest aspects of human nature and society.